Today I'm going to review the Maybank Family and Friends card, which gives 8% cashback and also offer you some strategies on maximizing the cashback you can derive from this card. Now, if you want to sign up for this card, do get it from my website where you can get attractive offers for yourself and help me to continue making more videos and content. The Maybank Family and Friends card used to be my favorite cashback card because it gave 8% cashback and the requirements were so simple. You just needed to spend $800 per month on things like dining, groceries, telco payments, and transportation, and those were really easy to meet. And yeah, you just had to spend $800 and get 8% cashback every month. Simple as that. Last year, I think it underwent a very significant nerf in my opinion. And now they introduced this thing called sub-limits, which meant that instead of being able to spend $800 on a single category like groceries, there was now a cashback limit of $25 per category. So if you spend $800 all on groceries, you're actually only going to get $25 of cashback instead of $64 you used to get. So this made the card a lot harder to use because instead of just ensuring that you have $800 of spend each month, you now had to ensure that you don't go past the magic number of $312.50 per category because that's where you hit the cashback cap of $25. While they nerfed the card by imposing sub-limits, they also expanded the categories that you can get the cashback on. And instead of the 5 categories before, there's now 10 categories and you get to choose 5 categories each year to suit your areas of spend. The categories are groceries, dining and food delivery, and do note that this does not include fast food, transportation, data communication and online TV streaming, meaning your Netflix, your Singtel bills, etc. Retail and pets, meaning selected merchants like Popular. Online fashion, entertainment, which thankfully includes bars and drinking places. Pharmacies, sports and sports apparels, which include gym memberships, and beauty and wellness, which means you can get cashback on your facial packages, your massage packages. The maximum cashback you can get each month will now be $125, assuming you hit the max cashback of $25 for 5 different categories within a single month. Now, these are quite common areas of spend. The only downside is that you can only change your categories once a year, so you better pick your categories carefully. So you should definitely look at your areas of spend and figure out which ones you can reliably put on the card each month to hit the minimum spend and get your 8% cashback. My advice would be to obviously pick categories that you have recurring spend in or have a predictable amount of spend, such as your telco bills should be quite predictable and recurring. And let's say I have Kylo, so I know how much I spend on him per month and therefore I can pick the pet category. So go ahead and figure out your spend, see whether or not you can meet the criteria of this card, which is $800 minimum spend and not more than $312.50 per category. My second advice would be to pick categories where you can actually do prepayment in order to pump up your spending in a particular month such that you can hit the minimum spend. So categories include groceries because you can buy supermarket vouchers, and data communication category because most telcos actually allow you to prepay your bill and therefore you can easily pump up your spending in case in a particular month you don't get enough to hit the $800 minimum. You can also consider pharmacy category because pharmacies like Guardian and Unity, I believe, sells their respective supermarket vouchers as well. For example, Guardian actually sells dairy farm vouchers which can be used at Giant, and Unity, you should be able to top up your NTUC Fair Price gift card there to get your 8% cashback. And therefore, you have actually expanded the groceries category to double to $625 instead of just $312.50. So this card can almost become just a pure grocery spend card. If you have a fitness membership, I think the sports category can also be considered because most gyms will be happy to take your prepayment. Let's say you want to pay 2 or 3 months at one go. That is entirely possible to pump up your spending for the month and get 8% cashback. My next strategy, and one that I'm personally going to use, would be to use this card as a prepayment card rather than a card that I use on a monthly basis. So what this means is, if I spend about $150 per month on groceries, about $100 on broadband and telco bills, and another $150 on my gym membership, instead of paying for it monthly, I will just pay 2 months worth, hit the $800 minimum spend, and I have gotten my 8% cashback for this month, and then next month I don't use the card and rinse and repeat. Now, 8% cashback is a great rate to have. It's one of the best rates now, especially since UOB 1 has been nerfed. But I think you also have to consider whether or not the 6.67% cashback UOB Evo or the 6% OCBC Frank actually works better for you, because I think they work better for me as an everyday card, because I find that the sublimits split between PayWave as well as online, right? It is easier to hit and manage versus something that specifies the different categories. And bearing in mind, dining is also limited to restaurant dining, and things like fast food is not counted. So yeah, it's just a lot of work trying to remember your categories versus just having two, which is PayWave, and online, which is practically anything you buy these days. The Maybank Family and Friends card also gives a very interesting 0.3% cashback on AXS payments, but it's capped at $50 per transaction, meaning to say your maximum cashback will be 15 cents. Of course, you can try to make multiple payments, but someone in my Telegram chat group actually got warned by Maybank for doing 100 transactions of $50 each. So yeah, do at your own discretion. AXS transactions tend not to get any rewards at all. This is one of the rare instances where you can get some cashback, even though it's a very small amount, from your AXS transactions. Now, this just happened. Maybank is finally supporting Apple Pay for its cards. So it's more convenient to use a Maybank card now, and it also means that we can use Maybank cards on Chris Plus. As usual, do drop me a like and subscribe to my Telegram group, and I'll see you next video. Only $312 and $312 $312.50 per category.